Hello, welcome to the spirit video of my Mind Body Spirit series. So I was thinking that when I do the spirit videos, I would like to just channel the Ascended Masters who work with me. There's 13 of them. And also I would like to deliver messages for certain people who may be watching this. And there's one regular person who watches this, and her horse guide said that she is doing a good job of being patient. So yay, channel messages, and I know you know who you are. So and that can be for other people too. For people who work with horses, they know it takes a lot of patience and perseverance to get a horse that is the kind of horse that you want. And sometimes we get delivered something that is like, hey, I didn't want this, but the universe has a big plan for you. So you have to keep that in mind when you're faced with struggles that you think, oh, why is this happening to me? And why, won't this go away? Why won't it just stop? There's a lesson involved in that. So they're telling me it's inherent, which means that you decided that you wanted that lesson. So when you realize that about your life, that you decided that you were going to have that lesson before you were born, it makes it easier to accept it instead of always fighting and struggling and saying, I don't understand why this it keeps happening to me. So now I can tell you yesterday. So when I make these spirit videos, I'm guided by my guides to what to say. So I wanted to tell you about the video that I made yesterday, and they said no. So I was all ready. I was outside. I was making the video in the evening, and it was good. It was a 30-minute video, 24 minutes. I cut it short for a couple minutes, and then I realized it's the wrong format. So I thought, oh, I'll just do it another night because I had a lot of things on my plate yesterday, and so it was just, I didn't have the time to really get into the mood so that I could really be a channel worthy of my guides, because if I try to rush it or whatever, it just never works out. And I had wanted to make a little video before, and gee, the video feature on my phone didn't even show up. Now I want to tell you that when things like that happen, Spirit has a hand in that, and your guides are saying not now. Okay, so when things don't work out, it's not now. If things work out, it's because you're going with the flow and you're going with the path you're meant to go on. So this morning I had a meditation, and I had such a beautiful moment. I have been doing world meditations on Monday nights once a month, and I haven't been doing them for a bit just because my internet was all crazy. Country Wi-Fi. Sometimes it's intermittent. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it's so slow I can't. My computer will even say there's no internet connection. So I took a break from that. And I will resume. I feel I'll do that very soon. And I always put notices on my Facebook and Instagram accounts for that, so you can watch for that if you're interested in joining. And what we do is we make an energy ball. So this morning, when I was sitting in my meditation, do those every morning, just to balance my energy so that I have a cool, calm, and clear day. And I can't remember time I didn't meditate in the morning. Once I did, I don't know, over a year ago, and my day was all scattered, and it was just strange. So I like to meditate in the morning. It balances my energy. I become aware of anyone who wants a healing. And this morning, this is so beautiful, and I'm so honored, and I'm so blessed. Mother Earth asked me to send her healing because, one, I took a break from those world meditations, and she really appreciated that, because when I do those world meditations and I go live with them, we make an energy ball. And so the people who join, they make an energy ball, so we're all sending energy, healing to this planet and to places on this planet. And she really appreciated that. And because I've been absent from doing that, she came to me during my meditation at the beginning, asked me to make an energy ball and send healing to her. And I was so overcome with emotion, I actually started crying. And that's normal. What can you say when you just feel emotions, and it's good, right? It's natural, and if you suppress them, it's not healthy for you. So I was sending healing to the planet, and So I imagined in my mind's eye, I could see the planet like I was out in outer space, and I put the energy, or sorry, the planet, an image of the planet, like in the third dimension, right? Height, width, and depth. So, and I held that between my hands, and as I was doing that, she started talking to me. And right now I can't remember what she said, but if I do remember during making this video, I will definitely share that with you. But the Ascended Masters want to come in now. So I have a group of Ascended Masters, 13. They showed up, what is it? It's 19 now. They showed up in September of 2015. So what is that, 4 years ago? And I could actually see them in my mind's eye. So now I'm hearing that the people who watch videos like this, and not just mine, but other people's as well, the more you engage in watching videos with people who make videos like this and who talk about metaphysical properties of life, the more likely you are to achieve them, all right? So if you watch informational videos, whatever information you're learning in those videos, it becomes inherent. It becomes part of your cellular structure, part of your memory, part of your mind. And they're telling me that. So they're telling me that to tell you. So when they tell me, as I speak, whoever I'm channeling, is usually my Ascended Masters, I hear, it's like, you know how when you turn a tap on and the water flows through the tap, it comes from the ground and it comes up the pipes and, you know, comes through your home or whatever dwelling you're in, and then comes out the tap. So the same thing is for channeling. If you're a channeler, you hook into, you unite with that consciousness of the Ascended Masters, who are, they were alive at one time, but they have ascended, which means they don't have to come back, and so they work from up there. And then people who are open to channel, and I always say, you know, channeling is like this big funnel, like this, it comes down. So you take the information in, and then you spew it forth to the people who want to listen. So they tell me things usually every morning, and I've been guided to write after my meditations in the morning. So I write on the top of the page after my meditation what shall be my focus today. And when I channel, it's those guides who come through and talk to me. So that's also called automatic writing. So automatic writing is where you write without a thought, or without the pressure to create something. It's just free flow writing. You know, if you were, did you see that flash just now? It's like confirmation. So Spirit does that sometimes. They'll like jump into my videos, and they did that when I first started. I think it was the first video I made in the series. There was like 2 or 3 flashes of like bright light during my video, and that's them showing you that, yeah, we're here, and here's confirmation. So they're telling me to talk to you about ghosts, the difference between ghosts and spirits. And I'm not sure if I talked about this already, but I'll talk a little bit more if I did talk already. So ghosts are stuck energy of people who died on this planet and were left behind. So when we die, we are meant to cross over, and we're meant to go into the light. So there's like a halo or a beam of white light that we see, and I know that because I've seen it. I had a near-death experience when I was 24. And also when I do past life regression hypnotherapy sessions, when the people see the lives that they had, and then they die, and they leave their body, and it's energy, becomes energy again, and then they see the light, and someone crosses them over into the light, okay? So the ghosts that stay behind usually are stuck in basements. They like it dark, and they like it cooler, and they kind of hide in in little crevices and corners and things like that. So if you've ever been in a basement and you've been cleaning or something, and then you feel like there's a presence there, chances are you just stirred them up, and that's okay, because that means that they're ready to leave. So I'm to tell you how I know how to do this, because I understand from the past life regression hypnotherapy sessions. I know what to do with the ghosts when they are released and they're active. Yes, so if they're active, that means that they reveal themselves and they want some help. So people like me can help people like you who don't know what to do with them. I can help you cross them over. So I've written a blog about 2 ghosts that I helped cross over. One was called the Spectre, who was in my yard, and I could always feel a presence, and Then one night I slept in my camper. He showed up, and so I wrote a blog about that. It's on my website. It's called The Spectre. And then also another one, I had a text message from a client, and she asked if I could check her basement, and I did, and I saw in my third eye who was in there and helped cross the souls over that were stuck in that basement. So those souls just know that someone like me can help them. So it's a service I provide. It's just a new one that I did just because it happened. And so if you ever have a ghost or ghosts that you think are in your basement or part of your home, then, you know, contact me and I can definitely help you out. So ghosts are different than spirit. So spirit is, can be the energy from above. Oh, look who's in my video today. She joined the video last night, Shaka. So Spirit, she's talking. I can hear her talk. She's saying, I like Spirit. She's a really cool cat because she likes energy work, and she really likes, she likes the energy. And she's a different cat. She doesn't really like to be held, but sometimes she'll come lay on my lap, and she just says it feels good, so it helps calm her down. I gave her a lot of Reiki when I first got her because she was so, she was really scared. So Spirit is, it's the basic energy of everyone, and everyone has been created in the likeness of God from the energy that is from this big, it's like energy, like a plasma ball, and the minute a soul is born, it like shoots outside of the plasma ball, and there's like a spark. And with a soul, it's like one spark, but if that soul splits into two, that becomes a twin flame. But I'm not to talk about that in this session because they said save that for later. But they do say, they're asking me to talk to you about soul groups. So we all have a soul group, and you know, there's a lot of information out there about soul groups, but if you ever have a past life regression hypnotherapy session with me or someone who's been trained by Chris Lee, you get to actually meet the people in your soul group. You get to see who they are. You get to know who they are. You get to remember them. So those members in your soul group are usually people that are in your life now, or they're coming into your life, and that they are meant to help you evolve as a spiritual being. And many people forget that they're spiritual being first, and then they're human being second. Most people have it the other way. They're a human being first and a spiritual being second. But actually, so you're a spiritual being. So you're meant to nurture your spiritual self, and you're meant to evolve so that you get to a certain point where if you don't want to come back to this planet, you don't have to. It takes a lot of work to become evolved enough to accept and love everyone and have compassion for everyone. But you know, there are some forgiveness prayers that are out there, like Ho'oponopono is a really good one. It's the one that from Hawaii. And you know, when I said Hawaii, like they say, I just got like the tingle of awareness. And so now they're telling me to talk to you about Lemuria. So Lemurians were like beings that came to this planet, and they were energy first. They were not in a physical body, and they were able to go into the water, because the planet, when they came to this planet, most of this planet was water, and they were able to live with the vibration of the whales and the dolphins. So the whales and the dolphins are pure love and pure compassion, and they are the most evolved, some of the most evolved beings on this planet. I heard baboons are too. That's interesting, because I just got that information. So they came to live in harmony with the ocean beings, and they decided, the Lemurians decided that, well, they gathered information from the stars, the star systems that were out there, and then they came to this planet to help it. So if you feel like you're from the Lemurians, what I see inside of people who are from Lemurians, because I can see inside people's bodies, and everybody has some sort of energy inside their body. So when I see someone who comes from the Lemurian, I'll call it the chapter, I see a white flame inside their body. It goes from the root chakra up, and the more evolved you are, the higher your flame is. So the more pure your spirit is, because you've been doing work on yourself, the higher your flame is. And I recently met two people who have a purple flame in, and I heard that they are pure compassion. That's what I heard. And I heard they're Arcturians. They're from the star Arcturus. So that's interesting. So they're different. And I met two amazing young women a couple weekends ago when I was doing readings, and one I could see she had the white flame inside of her body, and then her friend had a purple flame inside. So people, when I am able to see inside people's bodies, it's because their soul trusts mine, and they're not scared of me. They don't feel I'm intrusive. They trust me enough to be able to read them and to see inside their bodies. And so I wanted to talk about readings, but they said not yet. So they said keep talking about the Arcturians. So the Arcturians came to this planet to help the species. Ooh, they said lions and tigers and cats and big cats. And that's interesting because the person that I met, she's a yoga instructor, yoga person. I mean, she totally looks like a yoga person. So if you've ever watched cats, they're like yoginis, because they're always stretching, and they're just so graceful, and they're very flexible, just like a yoga person. So those people are meant to help bring awareness to people about flexibility. So if you're a yoga person or you want to get into yoga, it actually will help you build flexibility within your body and your soul and your mind. Especially, it'll help your mind see outcomes that you may not normally see, because when you do a discipline like yoga, you are very centered and you're very focused and you're very aware of your body. She's like, that's right. So she's speaking. She's so funny. So they said that's it for the Arcturians. But they said now talk about the baboons. So they said baboons and gorillas, monkeys and apes are not quite what you think. So when I channel information like this, I'm like, okay, I'm trying to make sense of this, but it's not information for me. It's like I'm channeling it, right? So they said that they are much more aware of the harm that's being done to this planet, and especially to their species. And they are asking, and these are my ascended masters, and I feel they're also have such compassion for Mother Earth, this planet. They have intense love for it, and they want people to understand that the killing of these species must stop. I mean, if you look at a lot of the animals that are extinct or near extinction, it just goes to show you, what are people valuing? Are they valuing the flora and fauna of this planet, or are they just valuing the almighty dollar? And I think where this is going. So we have to switch our mindset so that when we value things, we help preserve them. And so absolutely everything you do, and this is getting to where I wanted to bring this talk to, yay! Absolutely everything you do has an effect on this planet. How you shop, where you shop, how you dispose of your garbage, what kind of food do you eat, how do you treat your body? Are you kind to it? Are you kind to, the planet? Do you see things that people have thrown on the ground and pick them up and hope to bring an awareness to people who do that that is not to create a wonderful place to live. I feel so strongly about this earth, and that meditation I had this morning made me cry. I have to say, it made me cry, because I could feel her pain, and she showed me, it was like she showed me how she felt when people were corrupt and people just didn't care. And maybe they're in survival mode, and I get it. When you're in survival mode, you're not thinking of, love and light and wonder. You're just struggling to make ends meet, and I understand. But also, you have to sometimes step outside of that survival mode and get into awareness mode and think about how you treat your body, and how you as a consumer definitely are running the show. Because when people buy certain things, they're driving the market, okay? So if things are being produced, and I see this in food all the time, so much of the food on the shelves is not really intended for human consumption. It's actually meant for long shelf life. So, so they're like, tell them. So a couple years ago, I found my son was, he had like a lot of phlegm and mucus, and his sinuses were blocked and that. So I thought, let's just cut the refined sugar out of his diet. So for his lunches for school, I'll just buy some crackers. There were only 2 kinds of crackers on the shelf that didn't have sugar in it. One was Triscuits, and the other one was President's Choice Organic, like wheat cracker, but that's pretty sad. Out of all the crackers on the shelf in the store, in a big grocery store, just 2 kinds. So, you know, there's been so much added to the food to, I feel, make it easier for people, right? But then a lot of people aren't aware. A lot of people aren't aware of how these foods are making them feel. And you want to be in the video? Hey, little girl, look at that. I love my cats. Anyways, so I hope that when you go to choose food for you and your family, that you think about the long-term effects of your diet, and what kind of cells it's building, and how it's feeding your spirit. Because when we eat food that is meant to be consumed by our body, and everybody's body is different, right? Some people really do well on like a keto diet. A lot of people do well, with they have the carnivore diet, which is kind of like keto. Keto incorporates a lot of fats, but everybody is different. So you have to figure out what your body likes and how it processes the food, and the spiritual component of that food. And that's what I meant to talk about now. And so when you consume food that is produced in an environmentally friendly way and a kind way, and if that's your vibration, it matches you, right? And then it feeds your soul. So if you're aware of that, and yes, ethically produced, those are the words I was thinking about. So when you're eating food that has been ethically produced, and you are very mindful of how food is produced, and you have the means to purchase that food and prepare it in a loving and kind way, like really enjoy making meals, then it vibrates high to feed your soul, and you feel better, you look better, you're happier. Because when you're eating food and you're trying to fill a void, you're going to tend to eat whatever's in the cupboard, or you go to a store and you buy food and you're in that mood, whatever. But you have to make sure that what you're selecting to read feeds your soul. What you eat feeds your soul. What you drink feeds your soul. And so when you become mindful like that, you're aware of how you're feeding yourself, then you just feel better. Okay, so here's an example. So tonight I had made some red rice. I really like it. It's organic. I soaked it overnight. I soaked my grains and rice overnight, and then I cooked them the next day. And I had made it to accompany lentil soup that I made. And I love making soup in my crock pots. It's so easy. You just put the stuff in there and I put it on low for 10 hours, and I let it cook all day, and then you have a beautiful meal in the evening. So it's really nice, and it tastes really good. So I made this red rice, and I had some left over, and I thought, oh, I really like to make some fried rice. So I made some fried rice tonight, and I had bought Vital Wheat gluten because I went vegan about 5 months ago, and I got a recipe off the internet, and it said to you could blend it with like lentils, or lentils. So I did, and then you're to steam it, and then you can grill it on a fire. And I did that, and it was okay, but I wasn't really loving it. It was more like I was forcing myself to eat it. But as I'm eating it, and I made it a second time, as I'm eating, I'm realizing I really like this, because it's just it was too thick, like kind of dense. That's what I'm talking about. So I thought tonight I'm gonna make that rice, and I'm just gonna put the Vital Wheat gluten in there and see. And oh my goodness, it tasted so good, and I was so happy. It was so easy. It's so much easier than the other method where I had to make seitan. And I'm not saying that I wouldn't make seitan again. I think I would tweak the recipe so it was like I'd bought some seitan in a salad mix from Costco, and I really like that. So that food tonight fed my soul. It tasted so good, and I felt really good after I ate it. And so now when I eat, I'm thinking of feeding my soul, like what does my body need, right, physically, but how I prepare it, and what foods I'm taking into my body, how I chose them in the store, really helps me keep my vibration high. So it's important to me because I feel like I've done a lot of work, especially in this last year. I've done a lot of karmic work, and I really want to keep my vibration high so that I can help as many people as I want without breaking down. Having said that, this last 3 weeks for me has been very difficult, and I know some of the people that I follow on Instagram that are either psychic mediums or healers, and people that my friends that I've met physically they have been going through such harsh times. So what they did is they pulled back from social media and they went into healing mode. And some of them were just upfront about it. Hey, I'm taking some time off social media, or I'm going through a really tough time right now, so I won't be around for a bit. And some people came back after they were sort of recovered, but I could see it in their face, like I could see it in their eyes, and I know what I have an idea what they were going through, because I was going through the same thing. And when I'm in healing mode, I retreat to figure out, why is this happening? What can I do about it? And where is this coming from? Because I often do karmic work to release things like that, and I do it in a meditation. I've done this so many times. I just do it in meditation now, and I ask, my mind to show me where is this coming from, and then I see where it's coming from, and then I let it go, because I'm very visual, and a lot of the people who come to see me for hypnotherapy sessions are visual, so they see them. Other people don't see them, but they sense them, and they just know. So before I end in like a couple minutes, how do you know that you have introduced some karmic retribution in your life? So things are difficult for you. Things are not working out. Things are not easy. Obstacles are getting in your way. You're having to deal with the same kind of person over and over and over again, and it's just not going away. So I say to people, you are the problem and you are the solution. So you have to look, okay, what am I constantly attracting, and how can I heal myself so I no longer attract that? Because that's what spirit is showing you, and that's what you brought into your energy field. And if you're not aware of that, then it's going to happen over and over and over again. And like I said, it's just up to you to decide that, okay, I'm done with this. I'm not going to let this happen anymore, but what am I going to do about myself so that it doesn't happen again? Because if I have those instances coming up, then I do look at it that way for karma. And karma simply means that you've done something in a different life, and then in this life it's like the flip side, it's the balance. So if you did something that was not good in a past life, you'll get you'll attract that energy into your life where you're going to have difficulty, and you just are meant to work through it. And sometimes, it gets so difficult, I just say I surrender to whatever this is. And then I hear from my guides, they say it'll be better in the morning. And they're right. They're always right, because it is better after you sleep on it. And then your mind, your conscious mind that's all active and busy all day, gets a chance to download into your subconscious mind. And it keeps the useful stuff, and it just filters the junk out in the junk layer. And so when you wake up in the morning, your conscious mind is empty and ready to start a new day. And that's why you always feel so good after you have a sleep. And if you have problems sleeping, it means maybe you need to learn how to slow your mind down at night. So this is what I do. This is to end this video. This is what I do. I hold my hands in my heart space, and then I'll do some deep breaths, and I'll just focus on this. And then I might usually make a list of things that I'm grateful for, or something that makes me feel really good. Like, if I'm stressed out or something like that, everybody gets stressed out, right? My cats will always come and sit on me, and I just think how good that feels. Or like tonight when I was doing my horse's feet, because I'm doing like 14 days of putting this stuff on called Keratex. He's so funny because he will like kind of nibble me on the back, or he'll do something that it's soft and it's kind, and he's just showing me that he really, really loves me, and he appreciates that I'm doing this hoof care for him, because it's been so wet this year that I found the soles of his feet were not as hard as they usually are. So I wanted to not have them kind of like they were kind of, stuff was peeling away. So he's appreciating the treatment that I'm giving him, because every day, and I noticed that the condition is changing. So my animals will show me kindness and so much love. So I may hold that in my heart space as I'm going to sleep, or might think of members of my family who have been so kind to me, and or friends, or anything. And when I get up in the morning, I thank my bed because I love my bed. The mattress is really nice and it always feels so good. So those are just things that can help you settle down your mind and the evening so that you can have a better sleep. And always even use meditation music, some like music that has no words in it, and it'll just help calm down that subconscious mind so you're not always thinking. Thank you so much for watching this video on spirit. And also, I wanted to thank my subscribers. I have some subscribers now, yay, because I haven't been doing these YouTube videos for very long. But I want to thank you all so much for watching, and enjoy your life.